Early in the morning,
we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. You already know who it is. It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and I'm back again with a intriguing and comedic situation right now with this whole Jada and Will entanglement business. Now, listen, I know I'm late to do this video because this has been trending for a long time. This has been going on all over social media for like a week now, and yeah, I just wanted to be honest, I make videos when I want, so you know, I'm going to talk about them as and when I see fit. So before I get into the video, please make sure you subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified, and smash that thumbs up for me, because I'm going to keep saying it till we get to 1,000 subscribers, you know. We're so close. I think we're on like 947 now, so yeah, let's just keep grinding, keep sharing, and keep supporting. And yeah, it means the world to me, honestly. It really, really does. Just going off topic a little bit, like every single subscriber, when I see the number go up, I'm like, damn, that's another person. You feel me? That's actually another person that's like joining the community, you get me? So yeah, it means a lot more than you realize, you get me? So anyway, if you didn't know about what's going on, if you've been living under a rock or whatever, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have been involved in some sort of, Jada Pinkett Smith calls it entanglement, which is laughable, but it's obviously not just that. It involved in a bit of domestic, shall we say. It appears that a few years ago they had a rocky relationship and their marriage was on the rocks essentially. And during this time they were both vulnerable, both emotional. August Alsina, the R&B singer slash like rapper or whatever, basically lived with them for a while. Now, I'll be honest with you, I actually knew, and I called this from years ago. Yeah, I'm gonna go on the record and say that I called this, Cam called this, TJ called this years ago, because, actually we'll get into that. Basically, during this time, August Alsina was dealing with a lot of stuff in his own life. He was a young man, shall we say, and Jada and August basically entered into a relationship while Will and Jada were kind of on a break, shall we say.
We were on a break. We were on a break. We were on a break.
And as I said, I actually called this because years and years and years ago, I read a couple articles. Like back in the day, I was like a bit more interested in that celebrity culture, so like I would look at TMZ a bit more, I'd look at what other stuff a bit more, World Star, whatever. And I remember looking at a list of celebrities in open relationships, and Will and Jada were there. So from then, I always thought, oh mad, they must have some sort of understanding. They've clearly got some good dynamic, like fair enough. Like, 'cause I rate people in open relationships. You must be so secure and so comfortable to be able to do that. And I think a lot of people, I know people in open relationships and they're happier than anyone else that I've ever met. So I was thinking, rah, like big up them type thing. And then I saw interviews of how August was talking about Jada. These times, I'm talking about years ago, I saw August talk about Jada in interviews. I was looking at his language, I was looking at the way he was talking, and I was just like, what's going on here? Like, I just felt like there was a vibe, you know what I'm saying? As in, I always trust my gut, you get me? I just thought there was a vibe. I was picking up on some body language, I was picking up on language, and I thought, him and Jada doing a little thing. And obviously these times, I thought they were in an open relationship. Now I think I'm wrong about that. I think I'm wrong about the open relationship. Well, clearly I'm wrong about the open relationship, but I wasn't wrong that something was happening between them. Fast forward to now, it's come out that August and Jada did a thing, basically. They had something going on. And Jada has therefore brought herself to the red table. If you didn't know, Jada has this thing called the Red Table Talk or whatever, where she just talks about all this topical stuff, kind of like a budget version of Topical Juice, you know what I'm saying? You get me? But anyway, and she brought herself to the red table. And you know what, yeah, first things first, I'll give credit where credit's due. It takes a big person to bring yourself to the red table, especially knowing that the whole world is going to be watching and things like that. And, you know, to take that accountability, to take it upon yourself, to go more into the limelight and expose yourself more is a big move. For Jada, that is, knowing that you're the perpetrator of the crime, shall we say. But looking at Will and analysing Will's body language, it looks like it's taking a toll on him. Basically, that's what I want to discuss in this video. Look at the psychology of both the people. Now, just analyze their body language, analyze their behaviors. Now, I didn't study psychology, but the way my mind works is very psychological. Like, I pick up on stuff. I might not be able to articulate what it means in a psychological degree manner, but I pick up on stuff. And listen, I've got confidence that I'm picking up on the right stuff, to be honest. So just for a bit more context, August Alsina recently came out in an interview and basically exposed himself and Jada and said that they were pretty much in love. He's admitted he was in love with Jada. You know, if he died today, he'd be happy knowing that he felt love. That's his words. Jada initially denied it and then brought herself to the red table and admitted it, basically. Now, all you got to do is look at the body language of both people and you can see who's handled this a lot better. If you look at Jada Pinkett Smith, she's a lot more relaxed. If you look at her body language, she's a lot more kind of, she's got her legs crossed. You can look at her facial expression. She's very calm. She's very composed. You know, she seems, out of the two of them, in my opinion, she seems the one in control. She seems to be the one that almost, obviously she's going to feel remorse. She's going to feel a type of way. But if you look at her body language, she's just dealt with the trauma of this kind of breakup or whatever's been going on. She's dealt with the trauma and accepted it and rationalized it, and essentially you can tell she's moved on. And if you look at Will, his face, his demeanor, he looks a bit jaded, he looks a bit tired, he looks fed up. His body language is a bit kind of hunched over. He seems a bit awkward, and like, you have to remember, this was a long time ago. So this bringing up stuff from the past is traumatic. It's triggering. Just because something's in the past, it doesn't mean it's fine. You can literally liken that and relate that to racial issues when every single person keeps gaslighting black people and saying, you shouldn't feel like this, slavery was a million years ago and this, that and the other and blah, 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 all the rubbish bullshit that people come out with. You have to realize that your ignorance, first of all, has no place here. And secondly, trauma, we all deal with it differently. So in Will's mind, yeah, he's been trying to put that to the back of his mind. He's been trying to move on. They did what any, I suppose, loving couple would do, and they tried to work through it, which is, you can only respect them for that. They something happened, they're trying to work through it. However, you can tell he looks fed up. He looks like talking about this coming into the public light is not going to be good for him. You know, he's going to feel triggered. He's going to feel embarrassed over this. Do you know what I'm saying? He's Will Smith. Before I kind of analyse the word entanglement and what she's kind of tried to do there, in my opinion, I want to talk about this age thing, and I want to talk about the double standards, because now everyone, you know, a lot of people on social media have been talking about this. This is not I'm not an original thinker for this one. Like, people are now on social media challenging kind of the status quo and flipping the scripts and saying, if Will had done that to a 20-year-old, 22, I don't know how, basically August was 20 or 22. I need to fact check that, but August was, some sources saying he was 20 years old, some sources saying he's 22, so I'll try and find out. But either way, people are saying that if the script was flipped and Will had an entanglement with a younger 22-year-old woman, would we have the same kind of energy? You know, it would be a lot more, this guy is a predator, he is this, he's that, you know, he's taking advantage of a young woman, he's a cheat, you know, men are trash type thing. And people are calling this women privilege. I mean, I don't want to coin the term women privilege, because we all know that women have it hard in this world. Actually, I say we all know. Every single time I do a video on women, backing women, I'll get some ignorant people in the comments calling me a pussy or something like that I'm riding for women. Or if I do something about race, people will call me too sensitive. So you can actually never win, when really you don't even know me, because if you wouldn't say that to man on the street, you get me. But anyway, I'd like to think we all know that women in society have it, you know, one of the hardest. Do you understand? Women are systematically oppressed in society by men. So I'm not going to coin the term woman privilege, but there is evidence of double standards here. You have to realise Jada was about 41 at the time, and August was over half her age. So at what point do we draw the line that's okay for one, okay for another? Is she quote unquote predatorial? You have to bear in mind, August Alsina was dealing with a lot. He was very, very vulnerable. This is a fact. I knew this back then. This is a fact. He was ill. He was physically ill. He was also mentally unstable, and his brother, I think, had just been murdered. this is all around the same time, or his brother died. Either way, like, yeah, died or murdered, I'm not too sure, but that's a lot to be dealing with. You know, there's a lot going on. He was depressed. He's depressed. He came to Will and Jada for, you know, support. He came for them for guidance, shall we say, safety, because he was vulnerable. Now, obviously, in that time, Jada and him had a relationship, which Jada has called an entanglement. Now, that leads me on to the word itself. Now, that word, I don't rate Jada for that. I don't respect Jada for that, because you have to be real. She brought herself to the red table. Be real about your relationship. The word entanglement, it's just, it's clever. Her kind of psychology behind that is very interesting, because from my point of view, the word entanglement minimizes, downplays, and undervalues what has actually happened here. An entanglement, you know, people are making a joke out of it. It's a laughing stock, like, oh yeah, so-and-so's an entanglement. You know what I'm saying? It downplays the severity of what you did to Will, because it's now of my belief that Will and Jada were not in an open relationship. They might have been back then. The article might have got it right then. It might have got it wrong. Either way, it's my belief. Looking at Will Smith's body language, looking at the pain behind his eyes, he was not ready for that. He was not prepared for that. He literally is Rachel in this situation, in this Ross and Rachel situation.
From there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
But the word entanglement, come out and say what it is. Will even laughed. Will even said, entanglement? You get me? And then said, you know, a relationship. And she said, yeah, that's what I said. I had a relationship with August. You get me? So I don't rate it for that one. And this is the reason why I'm reacting to it now, is because I really wanted to kind of let it marinate a little bit and see kind of what I can see, because from my understanding, or from my perspective, I can't see this lasting like too much longer. And the same, I'll be honest with you, the same inkling I had with Jada and August Alsina is the same inkling I've got with Will and Margot Robbie. Now, I firmly believe Margot Robbie and Will have done a thing, and I have no evidence to back that up. I'm not spreading notices. I'm not saying they did. I just think they did it. Like, the same energy I got from August and Jada all those years ago, I'm getting from Will and Margot. So who knows what this celebrity life is about? And, you know, a lot of celebrities are in open relationships and things like that, and they have a different standard of living. They're getting exposed to the opposite sex all the time. You know, they're celebrities, they can get who they want. Do they really want to be monogamous? You know, and things like that. But honestly, the conclusion that I've got is that Jada she's fully wrong for this one. She's wrong for this one, because if they were not in an open relationship and they were on a break, she should not have entered in a relationship with August, break or not, because it's not a breakup. We're not in school no more. This isn't like we were on a break and then you slept with someone and it's, even then it's painful. But they weren't on a break. They're married, innit? They're married. So they were working through their relationship, and in that time, she has almost fallen in love with someone else. Look at the video I embedded in this video earlier about how Will kicked her to the curb. You know, Will literally was done with her. So you have to remember that everything that's being brought up right now is going to be very triggering for someone like Will Smith. And to be honest, you know, I really hope he finds peace, because just looking at their dynamic at the red table, there was the authoritative figure from my perspective was Jada. And the figure who was a bit more vulnerable and you could tell was a bit more distraught at everything that had happened and is still happening now was Will. So I'm gonna end the video there. Just a short little analysis from me. As I said, please hit the subscribe button if you're new. Smash the thumbs up for me, and remember, for your lifestyle and fitness needs, check out my Herbalife link below. And I'll see you soon.